Welcome back. Another video on YouTube here. DCS. This one's going to be for all the people that are curious about the mission editor. That's what this is going to be about and what we're going to dive into. So, um, I've always liked the mission editor for the year and a half, 2 years that I've been playing DCS ever since I started, because there's just so much it has to offer, whether that be to create your own missions or to just give you, you know, the time you need or want to spend on learning the aircraft fully instead of being forced to rush into multiplayer or whatever. So this is the place to do it, and you can create some pretty fun, interesting things. One thing I've always created is like I'll find a nice long line here. You can go down here, map. You can change it to the view, so it's map, satellite. This is good, so you can actually like see what's where. Like physical buildings and whatnot. Um, so what I like to do sometimes is, if I want to like get good at defending against SAMs and stuff, then you can go in here, find you a nice long line, like click on the plane over here, go down, click your aircraft you want. For me, it's the F-16. That's just what I like. Spawn it. Now you'll spawn right here. Flyover point. You don't have to click that if you don't really want to. Either we click this here for SAM sites. Go Russia. Spawn like a SA-11 site. Zoom in. Click it here. You can kind of move these around and place them how you want. You can also find the main piece and it'll move them all in one, so that's pretty useful. So what I like to do sometimes is just like do SAM runs is what I like to call them. I'll just spawn my plane here. You got to make sure it's at enough elevation, of course, so you don't spawn and go into a mountain. That's never fun. And then I'll just spawn a whole bunch of air defense targets for the opposing side, and then I'll just zoom through as fast as I can. And I don't put it on unlimited fuel or unlimited chaff and flares or invulnerable. I don't put it on none of that. I just but I make it realistic at the same time. I don't want to overdo it to where it's going to be like a death run. I'm looking for realistic and to try to just genuinely get better at them. So that's something I like to create. You can create other missions. For example, you can spawn, like you can make Batumi here. We'll just say this is your airfield. Make it neutral. You go blue, so then you can make all of this, your main base. And then you can, for example, you can make Sakumi a red enemy base. And then you can spawn stuff. You can put stuff at your base like C-130s, have them fly out, and you can have a team of F-18s escort them, of course, using these lines here. So to add more of those waypoints, you would just click it, click add, boom, 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 and now you've got multiple waypoints. Then you can go in, advanced waypoint actions, add, perform task. So strafing, orbit, refueling, follow, aerobatics, start en route task, search and then engage in zone. So you can have them engaged in specific zones. But you could, following the hypothetical storyline that we're going to go with here, you could have C-130s fly out with the F-18s, get escorted. You could spawn a pair of F-16s, including yourself. And then you all could have an objective, hypothetically, to meet up and do an aerial refuel over, Kutasi or something, and then fly out to Sukumi to, take off or take out enemy ground targets or something, and then fly back and land successfully at Batumi. That could be a mission. You can make that a whole mission, just all of that. So, I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to the mission editor, and I'm a big fan of it. So, you can do mission options here. If you do If you are interested in that, for all my missions, by the way, I usually do F10. I always enable that. But for the people who do want unlimited fuel, maybe you're just wanting to spend a lot of time practicing doing whatever without having to worry about running out. For those people, you just check that one and check that one. You have to make sure you click both of them on weapons, fuel. You need to click both sides of them or it won't work. But the ones I normally do, no matter what, is all of these. All the ones you see checked are the ones that I pretty much always do, no matter what mission I'm making. Battle damage assessment. I was told that's more for like a multiplayer or whatever, like advanced AI kind of thing. So when you're in a squad and you're flying, taking off and stuff, and you're in air orbiting or whatever, then you can kind of scope out each other's um, uh, equipment and all that. Make sure whatever that everything looks all right. Um, of course, you can change the skill level. You can make it a player, so it's you. You want to make it yourself. You just click player. For another person, then you would just click another jet. Boom, and then you can make it a client spot. So now you and your buddy can do it, and he can click the client spot. You'll join automatically in this slot because it's set to player. So that's how that would work if you're wanting to create a mission and have your friends join with you. Of course, you can spawn infantry, air defense, artillery, all that can be done through there. I'm not going to go too much into that because it's self-explanatory. This tab over here, you can change the weather, the daylight, nighttime, stuff like that. You can click the portrait here, and it opens up. Now you have a whole list of them. You can do overcast and rain, just overcast, overcast, rain, light rain, broken, high scattered. You can do all that. You can adjust it yourself. You can enable fog, adjust the thickness of the fog. You got presets here that you can click through, and it just automatically does it. Then you got to click the folder, and then it loads it. See, it automatically put all that in there. That's how you have to do it. Same thing with helicopters, boats, all that, spawning, all that. It's pretty self-explanatory. That's most of what you're going to need for the mission editor, though. There are some other advanced things you can also... Yeah, I forgot about it. You can spawn structures, if you want to make air shows, like an air show map or, whatever, then you can do it. Oh, this is pretty cool as soon as we're done freezing here. Down here at the bottom where my mouse cursor is at, you have your coordinates. So as the mouse moves along, you have your altitude, and it changes as the mouse moves along. That gives you an idea of what your current altitude would be if you were there in that location. So that's also pretty useful. But there we go. Oh, it loaded a cow for us. Nice. All that time to load a cow. I didn't want to load a cow. I didn't click a cow. A Russian cow, bro. I didn't ask for a Russian cow. Look at this. That was weird. All right. Anyway, that's how you do all that though. So like, see, now it's gonna update. We're 7,000, almost 8,000 altitude with the mouse right there. So if we were to want to spawn in that area, we would want to at least make sure that we're spawned above that mark of 8,000 feet. So we're at 8,058 feet. So we're barely clearing that. Barely. So you could go like 8,500 just to be safe, and you can adjust that 8,500. So it's pretty cool. You can also disable the radio here. If you just want to join in a mission, you don't really want to mess with ATC, taking off. You don't want to deal with none of that. You just want to take off, practice landing, taking off, whatever. Or you don't want to deal with them for whatever reason, then you can just click them there and disable it altogether. You can also do that for bots as well. Or you can just straight up change the frequency if you would like to do that. See, I don't think I'm missing too much here. You can go in this little spot right here, the very first one, make a briefing. So it makes it more realistic and more engaging, I guess, for if you're wanting to share your mission online and the DCS user files or whatever, or just with friends, whoever. You can make the situation, type it out, make a red task, blue task, neutral task. Um, so that's pretty cool too. I've done that a few times just to make it more engaging and realistic. Um, yep, never mess with campaign builder. That's something that I just don't have any expertise with. I think that requires a deeper knowledge than what I have, at least for now, because you see it's asking for images and adding stuff, and I don't know what none of that is. So maybe eventually I'll learn and get the time to figure all that out, and I can share it. But for now, I think that's going to wrap up the video. So hopefully you found interest and use to this and gained some information. And feel free to leave feedback. Let me know what you want to see or hear next. What kind of stuff you want to learn, or you know, I'm mainly familiar with the F-16, the F-18, and the F-15. So, and I do have the Afghanistan and of course the other two basic maps. I own the carrier um, pack, so any of it, I've dabbled in aerial refuels. I mean, you name it. So just let me know. Let me know in the comments. I would much appreciate it. And yep, with that being said, we're gonna take off. You all have a good one.